Conditions apply.
Rams the good food people always there to serve you. Rams the good food people, locations right near you. Rams the good food people, in-store specials for you. Rams the good food people. Rams. When you need better service, Rams is always here. Better value, better prices. Rams is always here. We want your loyalty. Rams is always here. We are communities. We are family. We are family. Rams for you and me. We are community. Rams for you and me.
What are you doing?
She said, drink a rude boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, she said, drink a rude boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, cause when we out and we active, living we life. So when we drink, we drinking. Rude boy. So when we drink, we drinking. Rude boy. Oh, Miss Lady, anyway you see we are we building up our vibes. So when we drink, we drinking. Rude boy. So when we drink, we drinking. Rude boy. Why?
Caribbean numbers come and play. Just one single dollar, that is the way. You can pick one number or two or three. I win up to 20,000, you see. 3 ways to play, 3 draws a day, 3 ways to win. Hear what we say. Caribbean numbers is the easiest game to play.
The new Caribbean numbers
So play today.
at any Caribbean lottery agent island-wide.
So play today.
And a pleasant good day to you and yours. Welcome to another presentation of Island Tea. And again, today, as I stated yesterday, Cortesia won't be in, but she will be in tomorrow. So for those of you who tune in especially to hear that feminine voice, well, tomorrow, hopefully, we won't be disappointed. In the meantime, and in between time, I'm all you've got. So, so you might as well just work with it, okay? Let me just play this a while and get my numbers together. Yeah, and so I've got the numbers here, and they are, in case you want to interject, make your point, share your views, well, feel free to do so. The numbers are 466-0989, 662-0989, 762-0989. In the UK, 033-344-0065. In the US of A, 718-285-6984. And in Canada, 305-921-4619. And like I said, if you feel like there's something on your mind, weighing down, and you want to express it, then feel free to give us a call and do so. Bear in mind that all of the numbers I gave you, all of them won't be working, but I think I can assure you that at least two of them will. So give us a call, as this person has chosen to do. Hello, good day to you.
Grand Rising, Quint.
Yes, same
And
to
rising
you.
to the listeners.
Yes.
Quint, I want to engage you and hopefully the listeners in a little chat. You know, Quint, the scripture mentions things like the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Are you aware of those quotes in the scripture, Quint?
Yeah.
But do we really understand this? The first shall be last and the last shall be first. What does it mean? Now, for me, Quint, I know Africa is the first and Africa is the last. We are the seed. We are the salt of the earth. But what it means when it says the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Let us talk a bit on that. Now, who are the last race of people to us, as in history, that have came on the scene, on the planet? The Caucasian. They are the last on the planet, Quint. And today, we are seeing the last shall be first and the first shall be last. They are on their way, Quint. But you see, for us as a people, because we were cut off, and when we read these quotes in the text, we don't see ourselves. Africa is the breath of the earth where civilization began, where spirit became flesh. And looking at all that they did to us, Quint, through genocide, atrocities, to sanction, we are still here because we are eternal. The carbon copy, Quint, yes, let me repeat this. The carbon copy, the experiment that was experimented in the Garden of Eden, they are on their way, and they are the last that shall be first. And being the Quint, you may have to help me out with this word. My tongue to get tied on this word, you know. They know that they are on their way because all that they gave us, Quint, they have committed. They introduced hate. We were in our place. We were in a collective. We were in harmony until they came and they brought hate. They brought guns and they brought blood and destruction. And the earth has memory of all the blood that was spilled. And today, Quint, they are on their way. What I'm talking about, Quint, I'm looking at Europe and America with their population and the growth of Africa. Are you with me, Quint?
I'm listening.
You see, we have to understand these esoteric texts that is in the book. Because when we read, we're not supposed, well, for those of us who read and see a people in a time and space or time and place, we need to see our reality in the text that is in the book, Quint. Our reality is what it's almost like because they gave us this thing they call a God and all the attributes to God, they gave us fear. Like I've asked the question last year, Quint, why the fear of God should be the beginning of wisdom instead of the love of God? How can you fear the image that creates you or the deity that creates you in his or her image? When you look in the mirror and you see yourself, should you be in fear? Knowing that you came from your parents, Quint, and your parents' parents' parents. The genealogy of creation, Quint, to whom we are all connected. But we were cut off. We were cut off and we were placed under fear to remain passive and to be controlled. Well, today we are breaking out of that control, Quint. It is slow.
But are we? I mean, our Caribbean. I just look at a clip from one of my co-workers that the title was Caribbean Scrambles while they try to deal with the U.S. imposing what they should do. So,
well, you see, Quint, you know, we cannot go up against the superpower as individual. We have to be a collective. And you see, now, let us look at the story of the giant Goliath and David. You see how David brought down Goliath? Yes, David was a single individual, but he went with the army of the Israelites in his background. But, you know, he went up and he slew the giant with a stone. Now, here we are divided and we are manipulated because the superpowers, America, Europe, and all of those military might, they strategize. They study us. And once we are like this, once we are divided, we are manipulated. We are easy to control. And this is why Jody says that we cannot unite without knowing who we were. Now, when you look at what is happening in the Sahel region, Quint, that Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have got rid of France and America, put soldiers from out of their country without weapons, Quint. Now, where are we? Where are our Caribbean leaders? They're not aware of what is happening there. But again, they're going along to get along. I mean, why can't our Caribbean leaders see?
To me, they're not even going along to get along. To me,
yes,
they're just capitulating. To me, they're signaling that they're ready to crawl even before you come to them. If you listen to that clip we played, Hortensia played on Monday, where you heard this leader saying that they were being forced to finish with the Cubans, and he admitted that the main doctors they had who they were benefiting from were Cubans. And then he said, but we're getting the Africans. And then he went on to start cursing his people, saying, but you know, they're a bunch of hypocrites because look, we have the Africans. And the fool doesn't realize that he's doing just what they want him to do. He's out there on his own trying to find plaster to put on a very serious wound. Because what if down the line they say they don't want the Africans? I mean, we need to stop capitulating. We are waiting in line to say yes to master. We need to finish with that. We need to start. I mean, I'm just appalled that I never thought that in my lifetime I would see, after knowing the history we went through, that I would see our own black leaders just waiting in line to say yes, master. Yes, Massa, and none of them are thinking of uniting and saying together in one voice, no, Massa, and then see what he is going to do. And as a matter of fact, we should be looking at self-sufficiency. We've not been doing that. Go ahead.
Yeah, And you know, this thing again, you see, we have to be broad in our analysis of the system, because, you know, Africa was kept in the dark, and that was by design. Africa was divided by design, you know, and today the youths with technology now, they are aware. Because can you imagine Europe and America going to make decisions for Africa without Africans? This is what they've been doing, print. And the youths are aware of it right now. But you see, Africa have a lot of old men as presidents. And, you know, it is, print, I can't even find the words when I see men like Bola Tinubu, Paul Bayer, and even Paul Kagame. Paul Kagame and Felix Tshisekedi, the president of the Congo, was at the White House last year on a peace deal between Kagame and Rwanda and the Congo. And you know, let me rephrase some of what Trump said. His words were, a lot of people are going to make a lot of money out of this deal. Trump didn't even say there will be peace achieved in this deal. And when I look at Kagame and Felix, they never look at each other, Quint, and they didn't even shake hands. Yet they went there to achieve peace between Rwanda and the Congo.
Because the only way we can seemingly achieve peace is when some Caucasian individual says, come together and have peace. We can't look each other in the eye and say, look, brother, don't you think this has gone far enough? What have we gained from this? No, they can't do that.
It is staggering to see our politicians, and Journey respectfully refused to refer to them as leaders. I don't know, Quint. I don't know what it's going to take. But for me, the clarion call has been sounded. Our unity and knowledge of self will cripple the misery, Quint. It's not just colonization and slavery, you know. Religion, because when I look at the system and the scripture, even God and heaven has been colonized. And we have to deconstruct our thoughts, our thinking from all that was in a book. Because like I said, Quint, before blood and ink, the blood of my ancestors, before the blood of my ancestors and what they put in a book, my ancestors were striving.
Okay, I want to be able to take a commercial break anytime now. All right?
Okay, Quint. Yeah, but you got my gist. So
Yes.
I'll try and get back in later.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
Caribbean numbers come and play. Just one single dollar, that is the way. You can pick one number or two or three. I win up to 20,000, you see. 3 ways to play, 3 draws a day, 3 ways to win. Hear what we say. Caribbean numbers is the easiest game to play.
The new Caribbean numbers
So play today.
at any Caribbean lottery agent island-wide.
So play today.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
And we are back with you. The time approximately 8:28, and there you just had a Journey doing his usual, and it's rather sad and also baffling the way our leaders just no diplomacy whatsoever. Hello, caller.
Yes, Quint. Good morning to you. And good morning to your listeners. Without the biblical fear of God, we will all end up in hell. And only through the fear of God can we be saved from hell to be with Jesus Christ forever and ever, according to the Bible. So, the salvation of God comes through the fear of God, the biblical fear of God. And as Romans chapter 3 tells us, it is the lack of the fear of God while we have so many evils and wickedness and sin in the world. Now, yesterday when you spoke about you seeing lights and that sort of stuff, that is normally, those things are normally referred to as orbs or orbs of light. You go on the internet, anybody could go on the internet and see what you were spoken of. They are normally called orbs or orbs of light.
What I experience is not orbs, right? But you can go ahead relating whatever you relate. I know what I go through. Like I said,
Okay.
it's not my wish to sit here and try to tell people my life. My life is my own private thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I divulge something, I don't really want you to try to analyze my own life. You understand? I know
No,
what
I understand.
I know what I see, right? I know
Okay.
because I've thought about it a lot of times. For instance, let me give you this. My room is in the back of a hallway, right? It's in the back of a hallway where barely any light from outside can get there. I have to pass about 2 rooms to get to mine, which is to the end, okay? No light. I'm not near to a road where any light from any external whatever. Even if as bright as the sun is, if I go down in my room and I turn the light off, it is pitch black. You understand? So I know, and this is not something, it does not happen too frequently, but then again it happens. And that's only one of the things, you understand? So don't sit down and try to analyze one of the things. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, but what I'm saying, when people do see orbs of light or orbs, it's no other light. It happens at times when no other light around and only the orbs they're seeing. And also voices and that sort of stuff. With all due respect, the orbs. Well, you say it was an orb, okay? But other people have described similar experiences. We have them on photographs and that sort of stuff. And in case whoever might be experiencing, as you say, it wasn't in your instance, but whoever might be experiencing it, which is very similar to what you described, these things are known to be demonic.
Yeah, I know you were gonna go there, but if they are demonic, you see, because there's a rationale to everything.
And the voices too.
If they are demonic, and I never said I see orbs and the voices at the same
That's what
time.
you say you haven't seen, but others have described experiences similar.
Yeah, but others go through different things and different circumstances. But
yes,
if it is, I'm gonna follow what you say, because if it is demonic, who acts demonic? Does a person act demonic and then go through their life in a rational way, interacting in a rational way on a daily basis, being demonic?
Quint. To discredit the Bible, to go against the Bible.
Well, remember, I don't
demonic.
believe. Remember, like
It's
you.
demonic.
Remember, like you. I don't believe in the Bible. You know. So.
Right. To not believe in it is demonic.
Okay. So I take your analysis of myself, Greg. That as far as you're concerned, I am demonic. So I'll take that. I'll run with that. So please go ahead.
Yes. Also, let me say as well. People, and I've said it more than once. People who claim that they're hearing the voice of God, Christians.
Did I say I heard the voice of God?
No. I'm talking about two Christians.
Look, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have to cut you off, but you're trying to insert into what I said things from your own perspective. Do not, when you relate anything that I relayed, thereafter go into certain things, because it only leads to you suggesting what you're saying is linked to what I never said. Here's what I've said. I've said. I do not understand these things. Did you not hear me say that?
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
And I never said it was an angel or God or.
Of course, you never said that.
Because I don't know. All I know is that.
You never said that. What I'm saying doesn't pertain to you.
And I can assure you that other people around the world, we cannot have a world with so much billions of people and they don't experience some of these things. Because if you go back into our history and it says we were always a spiritual people, we have a link with the spiritual realm. Because we've gotten so materialistic and we've taken up religions, all kind of religions, Buddhism, Christianity, all kind of religions, and move away from our natural, normal link with the spiritual realm. That is why I can sit here and say, I don't know, I don't understand.
Okay. Quinn, let me make this clear. What I'm about to say, as I was just saying, what I'm about to say now, Quinn, this does not pertain to you. I never heard you say that what you saw was an angel, God, or whatever. What I'm saying now does not in any way pertain to you, unlike what I said prior. This is now, I want to limit this to people who say that they are Christians, because I know all kind of people say they don't hear the voice of God, but I'm limiting this to people who say they are Christian, because I too profess to be a Christian, and I am a Christian. So what I'm about to say, Quinn, does not pertain to what you have said, okay? This is something different now. People who profess and who say they're Christian, who may even be Christians, when they are saying that they hear voices, and when they hear the voices, have the dreams or visions, it is God talking to them, okay? I'm saying to these Christians who are saying this, it ain't got nothing to do with your uncle. For these people, let me tell you all something who say you all are Christian, and who I believe many are Christians, and none of them are Christians.
Before you go on, this is what baffles me about you, you know. When I look at you, you look like a human being just like me. You understand? I don't see you greater or lesser than I am.
Right.
But I don't go out and try to determine what people say and say, well, you're this or you're that. I say within myself, or I might say, well, I believe it or I disbelieve it. But you go to the extent where you determine who they are and what they are, and who gave you that authority?
Because when somebody professes to be a Christian, I'm holding them by the highest authority, which is the Bible, and I'm showing them that you are being misled, that you are not taking the Bible seriously based upon your profession to be a Christian. So once a person says that they are Christian, I am holding them by the Bible authority, and I'm showing them what the Bible says, and if they are true Christian, they ought to be accepting and living according to the Bible. And what I'm saying is that based upon Ephesians chapter 2, verse 20, God says that the foundation of the prophets and apostles has already been laid, with Jesus Christ being the chief corner. It has already been laid. It is not being laid or will be laid, but has been laid. And therefore, God does not talk to us anymore other than through the Bible only. So Apostle said that they're Christian and said, oh, I hear this voice, and what this voice said was true. My life was saved by it. It was true, and I even had a Christian brother tell me the other day, a voice was telling him how certain football games going to turn down the scores and that sort of, and he came to and that sort of. Mark, I believe a lot of what they're saying is true, but let me say this to such people. Even if what the voices are telling you turns out to be true, it does not mean that they are from God. It could still be the devil, because the devil does say things which are true to hook you.
Anyway, I won't want you. What you're saying, you've said a million times before. What I want you to, you noticed yesterday when I made my statements about dream or vision, it was nothing to do with it was nothing to do with religion, you know. It was nothing to do with, it was Mr. McMahon.
I didn't remember the dream and vision part that you spoke about.
And it was no, I'm just speaking in a sort of a, you know, indirect way. It was nothing to do with religion. We were speaking about life itself and right and wrong, and whether people need to move away from the psychological thing of feeling that once you're born into this world, you have to move down a path of negativity. That is what it was about. I was suggesting, and lo and behold, he concurred, that he also felt that if a child is born, even though we were born in a world that is predominantly leading towards the bad things, the environment of that child, the training of that child, can determine that that child doesn't have to come out and follow the normal trend. But the problem is that we're not doing that with the children. We're just, for the most part, leaving them up to themselves to survive, and when they hit into survival mode, anything goes. I say that to say, I want a lot of the times, because I know that you're intellectual enough, to speak to things that relate to our everyday life. I don't mind if you hit off on the religion tangent, but usually when you go off on the religion tangent, you're not saying anything that we have not heard before, over and over again. So right now, my concern, and I think our main concern should be, how do we cope with what the U.S. is trying to impose on us and survive as a people into posterity? How do we do that? And sometimes I would like if you deal with these things and give your perspective on how you see things playing out, how our leaders, for instance, when I was speaking to Journey, I spoke about this particular individual and how he was actually, he sounded like he was pleading, saying, the Cubans, you know, they're best doctors, and the U.S. says we have to get away with them, and the U.S. is our friend, and no diplomacy whatsoever. I mean, why didn't he think on saying, okay, we hear you, we're going to think about it, and down the line they come back and they say, well, what about what we told you? You haven't implemented. So, well, look, I mean, I was just about to refer to you that we're moving along on it, you know, we're getting there. Just give us some more time. Man, play the people the way they play you. And all of the Caribbean leaders need to get together and do the same thing. And then what is the U.S. going to do? Is the U.S. going to bomb the entire Caribbean? Look, if our leaders are smart, they will learn that what the U.S. is trying to do is to intimidate us into jumping when it says jump. If we don't do that, and the U.S. realize that we are willing to exercise other options and lean towards other people, the U.S. will then seek to try to come to the table and negotiate. It is the only other thing it has. Yes, it's going to use some strong arm tactics, but it cannot use all strong arm tactics right throughout the Caribbean region, including Latin America. It cannot do it. It will exhaust itself and further expedite its own downfall. So we've got to learn to hit there and tag there and do this, as individuals, but working as one body. For instance, 10 of us get together and they say, this is what you are going to do. So I want you to speak to life. I don't mind. And this is what kind of disappoints me, because people keep complaining that you're talking too much Bible. Now I realize that journey is going down virtually the same line. Always the Bible, the book. So people are saying, well, look, we want to hear more about life and the discussion, and they're not interjecting that. So they leave it up just to you and whoever, and then they sit down and they complain. And it's a perfect example of why we are in the quandary that we are today, because you've got something that you can input to sort of balance out or dilute what you say you don't want to hear too much of, but you don't bring an input. I don't mean you, I mean them. Go ahead.
Yes, Quint. Like I just said, really and truly, only the Bible deals with real life properly and correctly. And this is why we are in so much problem, because, like I said, Romans chapter 3 says we do not fear God. And we don't see this, and because we do not fear God, that is why we are in the quandary, the problem, the confusion, the destruction, and so that we are in today. You cannot deal with life issues because
and you see, Greg, and you see, Greg, I'm sorry to say what I'm going to say, but it shows your stubborn stupidity. Because here is it. You're very bright. You're
I'm not bright.
Well, if you want to retard your own self and your own potential, that's you. But anyway, you're versed in certain things. I just made a whole long diatribe, and then rather than dealing with, for instance, some of the issues with our world leaders, and then saying, for instance, well, okay, I agree with you. I'm only saying, and not that you must say word for word, but I agree with you, Quint. Our leaders, they're too soft. They don't learn diplomacy. But you see, as I've often said, they don't adhere to the Bible. But they need to get up and
that's
have
the problem.
But you don't do that. All you do is go back to the same old, and you don't link it, and you don't link it to life. Not once in what you just said. And I'm going to cut this conversation after this. Not once in what you just said after I spoke, you said our leaders are anything. You just went to stubbornly because you want to prove your point to me that it's all about the Bible. So you said, as I've always said, it's all about... I am not disagreeing that it's about the Bible, Greg. You're not getting the point, and you never will.
That is why we're in the problem we're in today, because we do not see it.
Anyway, let's take a bit of a commercial break, right? Because it's I just can't tolerate this round and round chin bar going around in a circle with people who call you demonic, who say that you're a demon and you're demonic, and yet still all they do is go round and round on the same narrow scope. And you, the demonic one, is trying to say, well, okay, broaden the conversation. No, but they can't do that.
Found the sound 98.9
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us. TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
Caribbean numbers come and play. Just one single dollar, that is the way. You can pick one number or two or three. I win up to 20,000, you see. 3 ways to play, 3 draws a day, 3 ways to win. Hear what we say.
Caribbean Lottery Agent island-wide.
So play today.
This Christmas, add postpaid for a festive win-win. We're gifting you a 50-inch smart TV or a $400 Amazon gift card. When you add a Flow postpaid mobile plan to your home internet, you can celebrate the most wonderful time of the year with a big screen or big shopping. Let us upsize your TV or clear your Amazon cart. Either way, you come out on top. Add postpaid to internet today for your festive win-win. Visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply.
What are you doing?
She said, drink a rude boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, she said, drink a rude boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, cause when we out and we active, living we life. So when we drink, drinking. Rude boy. So when we drink, drinking. Rude boy. Oh, Miss Lady, anyway you see we are we building up our vibes. So when we drink, drinking. Rude boy. So when we drink, drinking. Rude boy. Why?
And we're back with you. The time is 8:49, and I'm going to go right into playing a clip because I'm rather exhausted with this complete nonsense of, reiterating it. There's nothing more boring than if you're going to live your life and hear the same thing every day, almost verbatim. It makes life very, very dull. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Yeah, Quint. Let me say this quickly.
And I don't want you to go right back off. I don't want you to go right back off.
No. I'm not going back, Quint. I'm not going back.
Yeah.
I heard your comment about Journey, but in truth, Quint, you see, Quint?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, sorry. I'm saying this, right, that I quote the scripture, but I also am saying that Journey knowing himself as an African, recognizing our interruption, our enslavement, our colonization, all of that was done to us as a people. We were civilized in our space. Now, me knowing this history that was committed against my ancestors, and as to the trauma that was deep in generations upon generation, affect me today in as much as I was not enslaved. The system that we're in today, Quint, is the system of economics that have taken us away from being harmony with nature. Nature that provides everything for us, Quint. We were robbed of it. No. If there was weakness in our ancestors as to how we were subdued, well, Quint, I would say yes and no, because there were resistance, and some of the resistance that was put up against colonization was done by women. Queen Nzinga and all those different people. Now, how could we not know this history and now say that we have become?
Even more recent, you have people like Rosa Parks, a lot of women in
exactly.
Yeah.
So how could we close our eyes to that part of our history, Quint? And this is what I'm saying. Now, I am quoting the scripture, yes, because the scripture is keeping us passive. And once we are there, we are stuck. We are stuck in this book as Gregory. I have to give it to him. He says, and this is his words continually, according to the Bible. Now, Gregory is broad, and I'm sure he have read other books. But it appears that what applies to Africa does not apply to him. Well, he's in that space, and he's not alone. But Quint, I was there. I was indoctrinated. I was robbed. I was interrupted. But I am reconnected now, Quint. And I have to quote the scripture, not that I am dwelling on it, because, Quint, like I've said before, I don't need the book, because I am the book. The wisdom of my ancestors who were great is in my DNA. And there's where I'm tapping in, Quint, and also reconnecting coherence and resonance, Quint, to those who walked before me. Thank you for hearing me, Quint.
Yeah. You know, it is funny how someone can. Greg listens to what I say keenly, and then he feels comfortable in trying to dissect it to the utmost, which I don't have a problem with. But he lacks the consistency of doing the same with our leaders. And that is why when I try to point him towards, okay, so I accept what you say, but what about our situation in the Caribbean? How are we going to survive it? What you think about our leaders? I want him to dissect them the very same way he dissect me. I don't pick and choose people. I don't come here looking to say I'm going to pick on Mark Brantley today, or I'm going to pick on Dr. Jude today, or I'm going to no. I deal with issues as they play out, and if it is dealing with that individual, I deal with it. And if it isn't dealing with that individual, sometimes it's dealing with that individual. Like there are times when people try to go down a personal line with our prime minister, and I say, no, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to deal only on the issues that he has been given a portfolio to lead us on. I'm not going to go down on his personal life and that kind of stuff. So I want Greg also to be consistent. The same way he microanalyzes Quinn, I want him to microanalyze our leadership. Hello, caller.
Good morning, Quinn.
Yeah.
I'm Potencio. Good morning, Quinn.
Yes. Good day. I told you on numerous occasions, listen to your phone. Listen to your phone and not your radio.
Yeah. Quinn, good morning. Yeah, Quinn. This is where we're getting from nationals. All of them want to pick and choose and go at certain people, and the present government, they don't want to hold them accountable. Yes, I'm doing that. Now, Quinn, what we getting in this is that a lot of nationals, you just want to pick and choose and go at certain people, but they don't want to hold the government accountable. Now, Quinn, yesterday went up the factory by the old machine shop. One day, original worker from school still there running that shop. And you can tell me that our government giving away money, $27 million, interest free, and cannot help the young man up there put on a roof on the factory and the machine shop? Robert Blatcher get his hand mashed up right in the machine shop. What's wrong with we people? We so low white people? When you're so right here, and don't care how they say you this and you that, because of how you talk, that's the way we gotta talk. When they're supposed to get bashed, we're supposed to bash them. Something definitely wrong in the minds of these young boys who hold in the way of government. They're not looking for the people. And they ain't gonna walk it out. They ain't gonna walk saying out. Because I don't see when they come out of government in a lot of wealth, and these young people realize nothing incentives for them, it's gonna be problem. Real problem, my brother. So Greg and them, when they come in and talking about foreign business, we got problem here. Let me deal with this here. Have a good morning, friends. I will be back.
Yep. And I'm going to segue right into a clip. I have two clips back to back, and they're with Mia Motley. Now, as I've often said, I have a big question mark as to Mia Motley, because as you live, you learn. And you learn that some of the people you put up on a pedestal, they disappoint you. But I still must say that of all the leaders I've seen in a recent history, I've not seen any as bold as she is, as consistent as she is. She speaks on the issues, and whether she's in the region or she's international and you get in her face and you confront her with certain things, she's going to express. So I'm going to play this clip. I see a caller there, but I'm going to go into this clip. So give this a listen.
The Caribbean is America's backyard. I mean, from Cuba, closest
Well, we like
point-
to say neighborhood because you get the wrong impression with backyard.
Oh, all right, I'm sorry, I was using that. Yes, true. Okay, you're in America's neighborhood because at its closest point, it's only 70 kilometers from Cuba to the United States. 7 military US bases are here in the Caribbean. But people are beginning to wonder whether you're looking further east. And we had a question on social media, Prime Minister, which says, I honestly would like to know why we in Barbados are so ingratiated with China. Why are we in so deep with China? So are you swapping one superpower for another?
Well, once again, I regret that the person who asked the question doesn't know our history. In 1977, Barbados established relations with the People's Republic of China. This is 44 years ago. And therefore, to suggest that we are now seeking to ingratiate ourselves with China means that you don't understand where we've come from or what we're doing. Any country that lives in this world today, to exist in this world, ought to have relations with every country. And China is clearly a global power. And for us not to have a relationship with China, even if we didn't have one 47 years ago, would be foolish.
But you've been very complimentary about China. You had a phone conversation with President Xi Jinping recently. You said this is all about strengthening the relationship with China. In 2019, the government signed up to the BRI, the big infrastructure projects and so on. And some people are suspicious. They think that China wants to buy the family silver.
Well, let's put it this way. I've also been very complimentary of the Americans and the British and the Canadians. So that for me not to be complimentary of China seems unusual. And similarly, for persons who believe that because we want to be friendly with China means that we are a pawn, tells us what they think about us in the first place. Because we are capable of being, as our first Prime Minister said, friends of all and satellites of none.
But it's not just Barbados that's moving closer to China, it's the whole of the Caribbean. I mean,
it's the whole
investment
world.
from China has gone up many folds.
But so
in
is
the
the
last
whole
few
world.
years.
If I look correctly, I think the Chinese hold a large percentage of assets within the United States of America and a large amount of their treasuries as well. So for you to focus on the Caribbean or Africa with China without recognizing the role that China is playing in Europe or in the North Atlantic countries is a bit disingenuous and really reflects more that we are seen as pawns, regrettably, rather than countries with equal capacity to determine our destiny and to be part and parcel of that global conversation to fight the global issues of the day like climate and the pandemic.
And you notice, this is why I lean towards her until she proves me, she proves me, she fails me. The audacity of this external journalist to imply that for you as a sovereign, supposedly independent and sovereign country, for you to lean towards another foreign power and do business, which she's saying, but you're leaning towards, and not only you, but the Caribbean. We have the right to do so. And as she amply stated, the United States, China holds a lot of the United States debt. As much as the United States is ranting and raving, most of the product that the United States produce is done in China. But they want you not to deal with China because they don't want you to have some space to breed. I mean, come on. The audacity of this individual. We have a right, and then she goes to say, it seems as if the China wants to buy the family jewels. Well, what is better? Isn't it better that me, having inherited the family jewel, decide of my own free will that I will sell some of the family jewel as opposed to U.S. coming in and just stealing the family jewels? Which is better? If I sell some of the family jewels, I can perhaps eat and live to build something better for my offspring down the line. But when you come and you steal it, what do I have? But I'm supposed to. I mean, this is why when people gonna get on the chat and say, "What do you prefer? You prefer to have Russia? You prefer to have China?" All of them are basically the same. But as we see it playing out right now, and in the past coming down to now, all America has done, following from her predecessors, Britain, because remember, America got its independence from Britain, so they're all really British, right? And all they have done is to steal from us. Steal our labor, steal our people, steal our resources, steal, and we're supposed to smile and accept it and keep saying like that capitulating politician, not leader, who says, who's almost like he's on the verge of crying. Well, you know, America says we have to get rid of the Cubans and come on, I'm going to play another clip with the same Mia Motley.
Leaders like yourself also carry a responsibility. Why are vulnerable countries still so debt-stricken? Why is there still corruption? What is your response to that?
You really want me to answer you?
I do.
Okay. Why is it that every time we talk about countries from the South, the first allegation is corruption? Last time I checked, in the USA and the UK and Europe, they're riddled with corruption, but nobody says that they're not capable of achieving their objectives because of corruption. Why is it that we're not talking about the fact that these countries became independent, having allowed those countries that colonized them to extract significant portions of their wealth, such that we had no proper housing, no proper education, no proper healthcare systems, no proper legal systems, no proper go across the whole stream, and certainly nothing to do with building social capital like community development and cultural enterprises. And what has happened is therefore that we have spent the time since independence trying to give our people what the global north has taken for granted and has supported by the extrication of centuries of wealth to give their people out of our blood, sweat and tears. Now, when our blood, sweat and tears finances the Industrial Revolution, and the Industrial Revolution then causes the climate crisis, and then I have to pay for the consequences of the climate crisis because of the Industrial Revolution financed by our blood, sweat and tears, then I think they have no moral authority to tell me anything about the financing of the climate or about why we don't have enough.
Is it anger over this that fuels your energy?
Anger? Absolutely not. Unfairness, lack of justice. They're not angry. I'm just disappointed that humankind still wants to believe that there's one world for a set of people and another world for another set.
Imagine again another journalist and have the audacity to look at a leader in the Caribbean and say, why is it that you're riddled with corruption? Almost every day, as Mayor Motley said, you turn your radio on, you turn your TV on. Corruption in Britain, corruption in the US, corruption in France, corruption all over, but nobody questions them. The person who is presently leading the United States, there are a million question marks as to his rationale, his sanity as an individual, his capability of being cohesive. But they're praising the man, right? And as Mayor Motley says, when we come from a history where you've taken and taken and taken, and then you have the gumption, the gall to come and ask us, why are we in this state? Why this, why that? You don't have the moral authority to do so. And this is why I keep saying, you know, she is a woman, but she has more balls than any of the men. That one who you see was looking tall, and yet still almost virtually groveling on his knees, talking about how the USA don't. Imagine the US telling you, your students, right, who are given a scholarship to be doctors or whomever, and the US isn't giving you unless you're going to go over there and spend this load of big money that you don't really have, giving you a course to chart something for your future generation of young people in terms of having skills. And you're there like a fool, I mean, whimpering. No backbone whatsoever. I ask you as Caribbean people, is this what you want in your leadership? What kind of leadership is this? Hello, caller.
Good morning, Quint.
Yeah, good day.
Yeah, the audacity indeed. You
Two,
know,
two
they
different
would
two
never,
different journalists, you know, and you listen to and you see. This is why I must
they would
respect
never
the
do
one.
their leaders that.
No.
They'd always be guided with their questions with their leaders and with the forwardness about the stealing, giving away the family jewels.
Yeah.
I mean, I know she meant it in a figurative sense, but they literally took the jewels and other artifacts. They're in their museums in
All
Europe
over the world, yeah.
You know, literally as well. You know.
And we have to go and pay and see them now, our own stuff.
Imagine. Well. I mean, there's something else, boy. They have a total face of brass. You know.
And you listen to the last journalist because of the way that Mayor Motley handled her when she said, "You sure you want me to handle it?" You notice she asks, "Does anger fuel you?" And Mayor Motley says, "No, I'm not." You understand the unmitigated gall of these people? They're supposed to dig you in your.
Yes.
They're supposed to.
I'm angry
That's
because
it.
they have a right to be angry.
Yeah, they're supposed to
With what
dig.
y'all did,
They're supposed to dig you in a wound and then look at you and ask you, "Well, why are you angry?" I mean, come on.
Yeah, you know, Mayor was being diplomatic when she said she didn't like the unfairness. Yeah, but the unfairness breeds anger.
Yes.
You know, she has every right to be angry.
Now tell me tell me, I want you to work. Tell me who of the male leaders you see, apart from Afron Ali, who stood up. We remember him, and he stood up boldly, and he put it in their face. But apart from him, tell me any other leader you've seen in the Caribbean who stands up and like Mayor Motley.
No, man, they're going to tiptoe and talk diplomacy and so on. You know, at some point, it's like I said yesterday, at some point, you have to stand up and let people know exactly how you feel. Because I am sure these leaders don't feel the way they talk, you know.
No. I mean, you could, the one that Hortensia played, you could see it and hear, you could see it in his mannerism and hear it in his voice that he's not comfortable.
And back to your earlier conversation, you know, I think you should let Greg know that the leaders are not going to take a Bible and lead by what they see in it. It's just not going to happen. Most people in the country are not going to do it either.
No.
Okay? So because they're not doing it, you just come on and say all the time it's because we don't follow the biblical way.
You know?
You got to go with what you have, okay? And make contributions and suggestions and so on how to make life here, life that we live in now, better.
Now hear this, Mr. McMahon. We don't mind if he, just like you're doing, if he speaks about what they're doing, what he sees right around, and then in the end he says, "But I've always said, follow the Bible way." You understand? We don't mind that, but you're going to just stay only on the Bible and everything, and it's become a monotony of nothingness after a time.
Yes. Yeah. One thing I've noticed, right, there was a release that said the Prime Minister is in Dubai with a delegation, including his wife. And the release also said that it was paid for by the UAE, okay? And I think that's at least a good sign that he's at least listening to the frequent calls about the traveling and what you're getting for all of this, you know? So that I thought that was good.
Yes.
That at least, you know, he felt compelled. They felt compelled to put in the release that it wasn't another John paid for by taxpayers.
Yes.
You know, right. You know, that was really good.
But there's another side to that too. What will we benefit from it? We've had these Johns on numerous occasions. What have we benefited so far? It's about time we see something that benefits these Johns.
Yeah, the pictures that I saw accompanying the release it looked like another talk shop, to be quite honest.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, big, lots of crowds, lots of butting, movers and shakers, butting heads. But what comes from it?
And make no bones, make no bones. If they're going to pay for something, they're looking for something. The question is what? Because our leaders don't tell us. What is going to happen is down the line we're going to hear some groundbreaking of something or some new thing, and out of the blue we hear, and then we're questioning. You understand? We don't want that.
Yeah, yeah. I heard something recently that said our leaders in the Caribbean, do not have habit of being open and transparent, as if to basically, well, it explains quite a lot, but at the same time, they explain it, they don't say that needs to change.
Yeah.
You know, they make it sound just like how a lot of people would say, well, it's because we do a lot of things this way because of our colonial relationship or slavery or way back. They will explain it, but don't say that we have to move away from that.
Yeah.
Okay, it's as if we just tolerate the bad because it's explainable. You know, that's not the way you correct you correct whatever ill there is.
When I was growing up, and as a young boy, and remember at a certain point, one of the main stations we had, not only in St. Kitts Nevis, but in the region, was ZIZ. You remember that time?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Bradshaw would come on a lot of times. I remember hearing him and seeing him on the television. And a lot of the times he would be telling us he went and he spoke with the British, and this is what they offered, and this is the price they were offering him for sugar, and what he said to them. You remember those clips?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you remember another leader who followed from him, that was Paul Southwell. You remember how frequent Paul Southwell used to come and speak to the people?
He was a master at communication.
You understand? So why don't our leaders learn to do that? Because remember, after Bradshaw had died, people were questioning how good Southwell was going to be. People even brought up the fact that he wasn't born here and blah, blah, blah. But the man so ingratiated himself with the people that by the time he died, the people, we felt the loss. You remember that?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. I mean, Southwell was the consummate politician. I mean, the quintessential kind, to use his name.
Yeah.
Politician in terms of his approach. When he spoke, you felt comforted.
Yes.
You felt that there was somebody in charge who's gonna do the right things and so on. You know, that's how he came over.
Yeah.
Right. Bradshaw was a little more authoritarian.
Yes, he was. But at least he communicated what he think. You know what? Yeah.
Yes. Right. You know, but for some reason I just don't know how come leaders of today are supposedly more educated. You know, they just prove the fact.
Well, I can tell you,
education and so on don't make you a good leader.
I can tell you one thing, and I'm sure you're going to agree with me. None of them, and we have yet to see one who was as articulate and smooth as the one we just spoke there.
Southwell.
Southwell.
Southwell. Yeah.
The man was just smooth.
Yes. Yes. You know, and to see how he developed that skill without formal like higher
Training
education.
You remember the times when he would think cricket, he would come and do commentary on cricket?
Yes.
And those were things that people spoke about from days after?
Oh, yes.
When I heard one where they said the bowler, instead of saying the bowler comes up and he delivers the ball, he says the bowler the bowler comes and he moves in some accelerated something, and I mean words, and made me as a young boy look up in my dictionary whenever the man spoke.
Yeah, you know, he was a real Shakespeare in terms of making you, describing stuff
Yeah.
as if, you're right there.
Yeah, and he
You know, I
and he
mean,
accelerates now, and he moves in perpetual motion. And man, the man was just, it was just something to listen to.
Oh yes, but and that's why I think that's one of the things we suffer from now. We don't have leaders who have that kind of stature.
Yeah.
Who command the kind of attention that those older heads used to.
And you know what I remember about him? I remember as a boy when I would come home from school for lunch and go across by that bakery there. Was Telka them bakery. It had a name, right? And he would be in there sitting down, right? From the time you go through the door, the bakery is there where Ralph Grum's business is. You remember? Harley's, yes, yeah. Harley's grocery, right? And he'd be there sitting down. Soon as you go in the door, he's off on your right, and he's sitting down there just casual, and he's eating either bread with some kind of relish, or sometimes he's picking on a piece of saltfish. Just a casual, down-to-earth person,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's why I say he was a consummate politician. I mean, they don't come like that anymore.
No.
Some reason or the other, it's really unfortunate because, it doesn't. If you're going to lead people, right, you've got to be able to persuade them. You have to be able to motivate them.
Hold a second. There's another caller. Hello, caller.
Hi, good morning, Quinn.
Good day.
I tuned in late, but I saw some comments by Dave about this Caribbean, talking about Caribbean issues. Now, on Sunday, I was listening a station home. I could say ZIZ. And this caller called, and he talked about some robbery in St. Lucia, where a Jamaican killed a security guard, right? They were trying to rob a business, right? So the Jamaican killed the guard. Well, normally you would ask Greg to check it out before, to verify. So while Mac was on the line, I went on Google and I really saw the story. It happened on the 19th.
Yes.
It was on Week News, where the guy went in the store, asked somebody for a pen as if to distract the security, and then wait until the customers leave and went back and tried to rob. So like Dave was saying, sometimes we could talk about Caribbean issues, and this bring me right back home. I mean, the other war, maybe they were not deportees, but they gone to another CARICOM country and doing all this foolishness. I mean, people welcome them in their home. Just be abiding now. So this is where all this refugee thing, because you never even know who coming in your space.
That's it.
Going
And caller,
and killing them.
And caller, you prove my point perfectly. You see, you wanted to interject something, and you did it. And that's what I'm saying to others. You have something out there you want to vent. I don't know everything. I'm very good on history. That's why I can speak about history and clips. But I don't know. Look, I didn't know about that you brought up. So if you know something,
because I heard it on the radio.
That's what I'm saying.
And after seeing Dave's comment about we have other Caribbean issues, I decided to bring it to the fore.
Yes.
So while Mac was on, like I said, I went to Google to verify, and I saw it. And it happened on the 19th of January, and the guy was formally charged on the 27th. I mean, come on. To me, CARICOM ain't really, no CARICOM. It's just a place of convenience because it just, I mean, come on. You go to people's country, you respect the laws. And
mind you,
you go killing people. I mean, come on.
Mind you, caller, we're not saying that is one and two, and we're not besmirching all of them, but your point is valid.
No, I know, but I don't want it because I just don't like to come and call names because sometimes people feel like you're picking.
Yes.
And I ain't in this alleged thing. I like to verify.
Yes.
So I saw it for myself, and it did happen. But I ain't hear that as news. Something like that should have been news.
No, I agree. But you've brought it to the fore now.
Yeah, all right. So I'll keep listening.
Okay.
All right,
Go
bye.
ahead, Mr. McMahon.
That's an important point. I mean, if we're going to try to become closer, more unified, we got to know what each other's doing.
Yes, and
We gotta
who's
know-
sending
we gotta
whom.
be,
and
we got to
the-
be affair with current affairs.
Yes.
Okay, we can't sit in our little corner and just talk about what's happening and think it's a Nevis. We're not. We're in a whole big world.
Yes.
Okay, just like how what is happening in the world now. A lot of people who would not normally listen to world affairs, they set up and took notice now.
Yeah.
Okay, and we have to continue to do that. Otherwise,
Most
things
definitely.
gonna just come and hit us, and know the context. We won't know how to react. We just be like the leaders now out at sea, scratching their head wondering what to do.
Yeah. Caller,
All right.
whenever.
I yield to them. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Caller,
Yeah, okay then.
go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead,
Hello?
Sylvine.
Yeah. Good morning to everyone. Good morning to
Go
our
ahead,
president,
Sylvine.
person on the line, and Greg. I think they should not call in so soon after they have made this long call. For days now I've been trying to get in. Days.
Yeah, well, whenever I see the phone, people say that all the time.
I know, but Mr. Monk,
It's not from
wait a
my
minute.
end. It's not from my end, so.
he could wait even 5 more minutes. So between him and Greg, they're tying up the line.
They are on one
And
line.
Greg and Journey have the same objective. They're not saying the same thing. To create unbelief and disbelief. And I tired ask Journey, why are you not talking about the Caribbean? You're concerned about somebody else somewhere. And what is going on in your yard, you couldn't care less. How you expect anyone to take this seriously? We have a serious problem here, you know.
We do.
Right now, only God could deliver us. But with all Africa, all of us from there, if you love them more than you love yourself, then something wrong. So when they do what they do, where are we going? Africa not going to want us because when you all were doing well, you all wasn't here. Please, you must be more rounded than as a Greg. Greg, the Bible says, must rightly divide the word of truth. If he's going to assert that, then why should anybody take on Paul and anybody after Jesus already left? Paul keeps saying, according to my gospel, according to my gospel. Now, you talk about the Mayor Matley. The truth is our people don't read. If you listen to C-SPAN, especially on a Saturday, they ask the senators and the representatives, right now, what are you reading? Our people don't read. If you don't read, how you expect to learn something? No, they're going to expect people who don't read also to guide them.
Mm-hmm.
You spoke about Southwell. The man was widely read.
Widely read.
So you know what's going on. You're not going by your emotion. 'Cause as you say, all right, you want us to stop our trains from going to Cuba, then we expect to get the same number of scholarships from you.
Yeah.
That is what you're supposed to say, you know.
That's it.
But you don't read, so you don't even know. And I tired saying, all of you who are people saying waiting, educate them, train them, let them see that they read. Everybody have an excuse for ignorance. Greg doesn't misquote, misinterpret. The Bible talk about rightly divide the word of truth. And put it to him, put the scripture to him, he can't deny it. Oh, self-control. Well, darling, from Adam come down, he had no self-control. People worshiping God fell down. Some fell down like dead. Some of the prophets in the Old Testament say God tell them go walk around in the city naked for almost 3 weeks or whatever. A lot of different things that they said, he said. Oh, the people them nowadays, on the day of Pentecost, what did they do? The people said the people drunk. They're drunk. They were saying they didn't have no self-control. And we say all kind of things that suit our theology, which is not supported by the Bible either. I don't listen to the Bible reader, you know. I have heard the Bible through and through, more than once, more than twice. And because I am blind, I could prove to Greg that he's wrong, this thing about self-control. Now, some people may not have self-control, you know. But the objective, listen to Greg every day. Why should anybody serve God?
That's what I question. Yeah.
Yeah, why should anybody? God? Imagine that he himself, you know, don't go to the church. But he's not teaching anybody anything.
Recently,
God told Peter, feed my sheep. Feed means educate, train them. Well, all of those who don't, I mean, really, Greg?
Recently, someone was saying, you know, certain people should be banned, and I know that they meant Greg.
No, you ain't got to ban them, because you see, a lot of people believe the ignorance. You know?
Yes,
they want to ban you,
and I said to him, I said to that individual, I said, no, I'm not going to ban him, because the more he speaks, the more he proves to people that he does not know what he's expounding on. Yeah.
Yeah, he and Johnny in the same boat, you know.
Well, I don't think he and Journey are in the same boat.
Where he make who? I mean, look, God make people, eh?
I kind of wonder, so it was good to hear you.
No, because you see what happened when let me forget the man name.
So I was saying, Sylvine, look, for instance, you're steeped in religion, you believe in the Bible, but you come and you speak about all kind of other issues, and that is all I'm asking Greg to do.
Because he has it, you see, he tried to discredit it, right?
Ready. So that's
yes, I heard duty-free allowances.
Well,
I know, but if it, these allowances at the port and so.
Yes.
What concerns me is the process you have to go through.
Okay, Sylvine, I have to break.
All right, then God bless the farmers.
Same. You take care. So we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, it'll be the farmers here.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
What are you doing?
She said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, she said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, cause when we out and we active living we life. So when we drink, drinking. Root boy. So when we drink, drinking. Root boy. Oh, Miss Lady, anyway you see we are we building up our vibes. So when we drink, drinking. Root boy. So when we drink, drinking. Root boy. Why?
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, future. You're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hosford's Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hosford's.
And we are with you. I have to cut in here because the computer has stuck. So let me take you right over to the good farmer. Good day to you, sir.
Good morning. It's another Wednesday, another farm report. I'd like to say good morning to all our listeners out there and all farmers. Pleasant morning to you. Available nice fresh produce at the Agriculture Department of Agriculture Packing House, the marketing unit. We have eggplants available, pumpkins, seasoned pepper, yam, carrot, tomatoes, cabbage, and plantain. As you realize, the list is getting longer every week for farm vehicle and repair parts.
Okay, I think that Sylvian asks about something to do with concessions, and so I think it might be to do with that. Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, so this is something that we welcome. It's something that we, the consortium, has been pushing for, to get duty-free and our spare parts for our tractors. But I see say farm vehicles, so I don't know if it will include our pickups and other farm vehicle, because most farmers may have one vehicle they might consider as dual purpose vehicle, used for their own personal use and for their farm. But I also welcome that news that there has been a start in the concessions. So for the spare parts, they are saying they extend duty-free concession. I do hope that this is just the start and it go further, because we've been pushing for it to go further. So that's where we're at. And so with me is one of my colleagues, fellow farmer. This morning he chose to join me on the radio. So I will let him introduce himself. So I let him introduce himself and the conversation will begin.
Yeah, man. Everybody know. Yeah, man. Agriculture, science, art, and practice of cultivating soil, producing crops, raising livestock to provide food, fuel, fiber, etc., serves as a fundamental industry that supports civilization and economy. Agriculture is essential for sustaining human life, food, security, economic value. Key factor, human development, 1,000 years enabling transition from Nordic life to settlement societies. Agriculture we're talking. Agricultural revolution leads to the rise of civilization. Agriculture is the foundation of human civilization, food, economics, ecosystems, health, etc. And give some numbers. US, 18.5 million farmers produce 2024. 142.4 billion net income. Agriculture and related industries contributed to the GDP, inherently vulnerable to pressure, supply disruptions, geopolitical instability, and blackmail.
You're speaking about
agriculture. This is agriculture. So the conversation must begin from here.
And as you say, agriculture, you call some numbers and you see the importance in which the farmer play in the nation, in the development of
agriculture.
Nation. So,
but see, we got a problem. If you say it is political, so I must say it. We cannot have representatives, one, going abroad at the expense of the people and coming back with trade secrets. Whose secrets? If the information gathered cannot further develop the sector you're representing, then
you'll have to ask yourself who
is benefiting to go and see and visit and learn must come back, and that information be fed back into the farming community. It cannot be trade secrets.
So is that happening here?
But of course, I mean, everybody know the minister said that they cannot involve farmers in the Tabasco pepper because of trade secrets.
Oh, is Tabasco you're talking about?
No, agriculture.
Oh, agriculture. I remember.
The sector on a whole must be developing. It cannot be trade secrets. Then the sector,
it shouldn't be trade secrets,
remains as is not moving. Because everything you go, the Prime Minister and Minister go to Nigeria. The Prime Minister comes back and speaks of 100 acres. They learned something.
Yeah.
But then who is benefiting?
100 acres. You're talking about the 100-acre farm that the government is going to establish.
No, I'm saying the Prime Minister came back and spoke of 100 acres.
Yeah.
He understood farming. He saw vast lands. The idea was not to come back and empower the sector. If so, the sector actually, it would have been evident in the sector.
But then, you say the Prime Minister understands agriculture. That's the reason why he cut the budget by 30%? The agriculture budget? By 30%? No, what I also would like to say, that I saw yesterday the two guys that was retired from the service, the land preparation service. I saw them back on the job. So they back out from yesterday. And I'm happy for the farmers because they'll be able to get their land cultivated, right? I'm happy for them. It's a situation we should not have find ourselves in, but until they work out something, I'm happy that they are back on the job, and at least the farmers will get a chance.
It is evidence of incompetence. How can you send home you're in any business, you're going to turn away your people them and ain't got no replacement for them, is evidence of incompetence and actually the attitude in general towards agriculture. Is why the sector can move. His actions speak louder than words. Is not how many words a man citing, is what he does. Let me go to cutting the budget. Cutting the budget. The Minister of Tourism said that 30 million of her portion goes only to advertising, promoting, marketing.
And we don't say get 30 million for agriculture.
A whole sector which is the foundation. How you gonna talk about sovereign and going out is why they must bow. They are making no effort to empower themselves by securing enough food for at least 6 months. You could only do that by investing in the industry.
Wow. But they will say that they're investing because there's a greenhouse village going on. They got the hatchery up Bayfords, and soon they got some stud farm or something up there. They will tell you that that's investment.
I'm glad you said the hatchery. Because my brethren, he's a fowl farmer too. Plenty of my brethren them. But when the government run out of food, rather than bring food, they bring eggs.
Repeat that. I don't understand what you said.
The fowl farm them, the chicken them, ain't laying.
They ain't laying.
Because no food there.
No food there.
So it's food they want.
Yeah.
The government bring egg.
They
not
bring
food.
egg, not food.
That is a reality. And so the market, when the fowl them now start to get something, is a glut on the market. So the local farmers can sell the egg then.
Because
it is an absolute truth.
But then you will understand that they are saying that there's investment going on in agriculture. If you go over Cairn right now, there's a lot of land, a large acreage of land being fenced. And if you go there, you see a lot of people, make sure almost 100 people out there doing something.
Yeah. I recognize you as a big farmer.
As you are both farmers, don't say doing something. Say what you see or what you don't see.
Well,
what is going on?
Well, I work with that. But I recognize you as a farmer in the thing here. And you spend a lot of money in it here. So I am going to ask you, are you involved in it? And tell me the other 3 farmers that you know involved in it.
I know it's from your area, so I assume that you're part of it.
The only truth is reality. Show the people that they involved, are they in it?
So you ain't in your area?
You know who in it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Rather interesting.
So that is a problem.
And again, I ask, what is going on there?
If it is in agriculture, let me be real. The Minister of Agriculture that I know of, from his time to this day, has had 1 meeting with the farmers as a collective. I am not talking about a meeting here or there.
Yeah.
How can you be the engineer, manager for a structure and never visit the structure? That is what we're dealing with.
Wait, again, I asked a question before because you said there's a place being fenced up. There's approximately around 100 people there. Again, you're both farmers. I asked, what is going there? What is happening there?
Everything I said to you answered the question. The farmers ain't know nothing about it. That's really what I'm telling you.
I know we ain't involved. The farm community ain't involved in what's going on there.
Is whose project?
I don't know.
What?
We cannot say until the seed fit to come to the nation and say, well, this is what's going on. I will only be speculating.
Okay, I understand part of what you're saying, but let me be hypothetical. So I see this place fenced up. That place includes that table in front of you, right? Yeah. There's 100 people on that table in front of you. I go and I visually look. I would be able to say, well, there's tomato there, there's corn. That's what I'm saying.
No. They have anything there going. It's
that's what I wanted you to say.
Nothing there going.
Yeah.
It's preparation.
I'm going to tell you something. You see, like the minister said he give a lot of things to farmers, no problem. So, in other words, he's saying we should be producing more.
Yeah.
But then, a major portion of the minister's direct contribution to the giving and taking and getting things is the shade houses that he is responsible for growing grass outside Newton ground. That is evidence of failure, and it must tell anyone where the thing going. Everything is the same.
So you're talking about the drip program. Let's talk about the drip program. Since you're going down that road, you give out drip lines to people who ain't gonna run in water.
Exactly.
How will that help the farmer?
How will that?
You give them drip line and they ain't gonna run in water.
You ain't trying to get a man some water. Then you go give him drip line.
So how will that help? But I mean, it's all about, it's not their money being spent. It's the
Exactly.
people's money. So you spend the people's money for a fatter up. Okay, that's what it's all about, a fatter up. And when we come here and we speak about situation like that, they will come back and counter and say, but we give this and we do this and we do that. So I don't know what these people are talking about.
Because as the minister, he ain't have to give nobody nothing. He in charge, so he get a lot. His project is a failure. So he can't talk about nobody who get, because nobody get more than the people in charge. He had access to everything. What did he produce? Frames, man, how maybe he's styling the grass.
You have a caller. Hello, caller.
Good morning, Quinn. Yemen and Troy.
Good morning.
We want you all, when you all come to talk agriculture to the country, you all be straight and direct, because people out there looking information. You all cannot be coming in the media and dodging to say things. Tell the public where you all seen. We want to know. Man like me want to know who behind you all. Come on, quit asking a direct question and you all running and dodging. It's farmers hire me. That's why we don't get this kind of behavior from public officials. Now, my point I want to get across to you all is that we don't want just tractor duty free, We want seeds and anything coming up the port between Sinkis and Nevis for farming being duty free, just like the barrier them 30 years duty free. That's where we want. Otherwise, some serious thing will happen, I gone.
Jam down. Me know what you call dodging. Because you could go outside here, opposite the medical center, and find out what's going on to you. We don't know. You can go and find out. Maybe you have more connections than we do.
The thing is that the bigger picture is the insult to the farming community. If a alleged farm project going on and the farmers are not involved, you got to show the level of disrespect.
But whose project?
I don't know.
But what are you promoting? You're promoting self? Are you promoting agriculture?
And that's the point.
So you're in a position. What are you doing?
Who will it benefit?
If nothing is disseminating.
You start ask the question, who is benefiting? Who will it benefit?
If nothing is disseminating, You are there as the head of the organization. What you learn, actually, even if it's a report you get from abroad, should filter down.
Not even a sign there to say, well, this is so.
Nobody knows.
You can't say. You go there, you see action going on. Not even a sign to say what's really going on. If you see ground break for any project, I mean, you go down the Boy Ross, you see a big sign say something about Smart Hospital, and it's all grass there, right? So how come you ain't got a sign to say what's going on over there?
I'm gonna make a point too in agriculture. See, the people who attack don't feel no pain. The people do not understand what farmers.
You have another
invest.
caller in the meantime. Caller, go ahead, please.
Yes, good morning to you, Quentin, the fellas in the studio. I tuned in a little bit late with the gentleman across from Troy. I know he introduced himself, but I'll probably rewind the tape a little bit. But I like John Dem just said, there's people out here that want that information. I want to know who he is because I've been hearing the voice, and I want to ask him: is he representing himself as a farmer, or if he's representing an entity, a farming entity? And one simple question for both of them: how many tractors are in operation and available for the farmers in St. Kitts? I need to get that question answered. That's a basic question. And yes, Quint is asking direct questions, so you guys give direct answers. Straight. Talk from your heart, man. Let the people know what you're seeing, what you're hearing, and what is happening underground. Because there's a lot of people out here in the diaspora that's tuned in, and we want to know what's going on underground.
Maybe you should ask a question.
Okay, caller. You've
Yeah,
let
thanks.
them. Yeah.
Yeah,
thanks, man.
But ask the question that we didn't answer. That's what you should do. You see?
You say to introduce yourself once again, so you could understand. And
I don't introduce myself.
you're representing.
I'm a farmer.
Right.
I am a farmer, and one of the problems that we got, Jam Down kind of hinted too, who behind us and that kind of thing. When people start talking, you see truth. Everything I said to you today, go down Newton ground. The 3 chapter, every estate had a minimum of 6 tractors. Count how many estates you had. The government got 3 tractors to service the whole island. Do you hear it sound funny? But you got to listen.
And most of the private tractors are though.
Exactly.
Let me interject. You have about 2 minutes. We're trying to make sure that we cut our programs on time now. So you have 2 minutes to wrap up. Go ahead.
Yeah. My position is farmers operate at a disadvantage. If the farmers had any maybe real sense, they won't be farming. If the farmers didn't love agriculture, they won't be farming. You can invest time and money, and then you cannot reap your crops. You can't get back.
I just lost a half acre of carrots to my
Okay, let me say this for last.
Repeat that. You said you just lost
a half acre of carrots to monkeys.
Wow.
You see the gun thing? Farmers need to be given permits. Farmers must be able to protect the crop. When the monkey them in the field, I end up calling man from agriculture.
You come at 2, 3, 4, 5 hours later, the monkey don't eat and gone.
The farmers only trying to harvest what they sow. It's food for the people too. Farmers must be given shotgun.
Okay.
Okay, as we wrap again, thank winnfm for the opportunity. And as we say, yeah man, thanks again. Be so present. Always a love discussion when you're out. Thanks again.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
This Christmas, add postpaid for a festive win-win. We're gifting you a 50-inch smart TV or a $400 Amazon gift card. When you add a Flow postpaid mobile plan to your home internet, you can celebrate the most wonderful time of the year with a big screen or big shopping. Let us upsize your TV or clear your Amazon cart. Either way, you come out on top. Add postpaid to internet today for your festive win-win. Visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us. TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
What are you doing?
She said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, she said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, cause when we out and we active living we life. So when we